You know, Music and Words Unite is only possible because of viewers and supporters like you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Mark cry. Hello, welcome to another episode of Music and Words Unite. I'm your co-host Troy, and with me I'm my friend and co-host Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Hey!
And today we are doing a track-by-track album review slash, it's not really a reaction, it's more of an album review slash podcast of this album, In the Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson. And the reason why it's not a reaction is because I have heard this album one time before. So it's, you know, it's not a real reaction, to be fair. But I am very new to it. So I'll say new to the album. That is true. And I have went back and listened to this record prior to recording this episode, Mark, about 6 times. 4 on vinyl and 2 on streaming. And I happen to have a very good repress from 2010, 200 gram. Yeah, it's a good one. So it sounds really good. The vinyl sounds very good. Mark has his pressing. Which one you got there, sir?
It's like a 1974 US repress.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sounds great, though.
Yeah, they sound good. They sound good. And Mark, we have done 3 other King Crimson album reviews. We've done Discipline, we've done Beat, and we've done 3 of a Perfect Pair. Now we're going way back to the beginning because I really, really enjoyed those 80s King Crimson records, actually. Like a lot. I ended up buying t-shirts and everything for that stuff. And then I ended up buying the Beat box set for that and the Blu-ray and all that. So big fan of that stuff. So I'm saying, okay, now I'm going back to the beginning, and now I just want to start from the beginning, go through them all, and at the end do a big ranking, album ranking tier list. That'll be fun. That'll probably take us through the end of the year or something like that. Who knows how long it's going to take. But so anyway, excited to talk about this one, Mark. So yeah, you want to talk to me a little bit about, tell the audience a little bit about your, because I'm new to it, right? What about you, Mark? I'm assuming you're not new to this.
Nah, this is one of the first progressive rock albums I ever heard.
Okay.
My dad actually owned this on CD, which is pretty cool.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And ever since I was little, I mean, you like look at the album cover. Look at that is like the most recognizable album cover I think maybe in existence.
Yeah.
So like I was always like drawn to it even as a kid. I was like, what is this? Like,
Right.
you know. And as I got older, when I started to get into like progressive music as like a teenager, I listened to it and I was like, this is just fucking awesome. Like, like the album cover matches the music like perfectly. And this is really, besides like Rush, this is like one of the first prog albums I ever really listened to. I've always like knew the name King Crimson, but I never really like kind of listened to them. They were always on like the fringe of popular music. You know, you had like popular like prog bands like, you know, Yes and Genesis, and you know, they hit into the mainstream with some songs, but like King Crimson never got there. And I, you know, that's a variety of reasons too. I mean, they're not really accessible. They're very experimental. I mean, like the 80s King Crimson is the closest they ever came to having really any singles, but yeah, not to get sidetracked here, but this is like, I mean, many people consider this the first progressive rock album. You know, you can make your arguments. You could say, you know, Whiter Shade of Pale by, I don't even know if that's the album name, but Procol Harum had like a prog album apparently before this. You could say Moody Blues, but I'm gonna say this is, for, you know, lack of evidence, because this is like a fully progressive album.
Okay.
So yeah, and this is you know, a lot of people's pick for the best King Crimson album. It's not my favorite, but it is definitely one of their best. And if you told me it was your favorite, I would not even bat an eye, because it's that good.
Yeah.
And it's only 5 songs. But each song is, you know, at least over 6 minutes long. So, yeah. So, you know, great album. Obviously, we're gonna get into it. Features Greg Lake of ELP fame, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, who went on to do that. It's got, you know, Robert Fripp, the master, on it,
right?
And Ian McDonald, who was only on, I believe, the first 2 albums. I may be incorrect about that.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? He was on the first 2, and then he came back for Red. Okay. So yeah, great album. Let's get into it then.
All right. Yeah, so I'm going to get into it. I'm going to play the first track in a second. I did do some research on this because I am new to King Crimson. I was trying to understand. And I'm trying to understand the roots of prog. And to me, in the research, I found some proto-prog albums that people were mentioning. I think you were mentioning some of them. But it seems like people think the general consensus is this is the first true progressive rock album. Now, I'm sure people are going to argue with it, but you got to pick something, I guess. And it seems like the consensus. And what blows me away about this is a few things, because we're going to get in the first song, which does blow me away, actually. But because I'm almost thinking, I try to put myself in, I wasn't alive in 1969, but I know what kind of music was popular at the time. And I'm trying to think of, like, if I was in 1969 listening to these things, and then I heard 21st Century Schizoid Man, how would I react? You know what I mean? I actually think about that when I'm listening to the record for the, but yeah, so a couple things I learned about this album is that it was recorded on a $15,000 budget. Now, adjusted for inflation, that's about $130,000, $140,000, which, I think to make a full-length album back in the day, it wasn't like as easy as it is now, of course, with the technology. So I would imagine albums probably costed more to make. And so I think this was a lower budget album at the time, considering the amount of money. And also, I learned that the manager actually remortgaged his house to pay for it, which means that he really, really believed in this band. And there was a famous show apparently that they did at Hyde Park where they opened for the Rolling Stones. Mm-hmm. And it was 2 months before this album released. And apparently it was an estimated 250 to 500,000 people at this show. Okay. And this was their seventh time playing live. I'm looking at the notes here. And apparently people say that King Crimson stole the show. And yeah, I think if they open up with 21st, I just want you to imagine you're there to see the Rolling Stones, right, in 1969. And, you've heard the famous Rolling Stones songs. Okay, and they sound nothing like this, by the way. All right, so you've heard that, and this band comes on right before the Rolling Stones, maybe, and you're like, who the hell is this band? What is this, right? And they come on, and this is what you hear. So now I'm picturing myself in the crowd. Okay.
Still fucking ridiculous, 50 plus years later.
Right.
Just imagine 1969.
I know. I'm going to pause it for a second here because we play clips on this show. We pretty much play clips and then we talk about it like a podcast style. So I can imagine the first thing you hear, I don't know if they opened with this, but let's say they did. I mean, dude, this had to blow people's minds. People had to be like, because Black Sabbath 1 hadn't come out yet, right, at this time. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like, to me, is this like the first heavy metal song? It kind of sounds like...
You can make the argument for like Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
A lot of people think Summertime Blues by Blue Cheer is like the first heavy metal song.
Okay.
It's the same thing as like prog. I also want to make a a correction of what I said earlier. The album
Okay.
is "Shine On Brightly" by Procol Harum, which is considered like one of the first progressive rock albums.
Okay.
Um, it does have a 17-minute song on it, and it's from 1968. So
Oh, hell yeah.
That's pretty
All right.
crazy.
All right.
But yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Wow. I was just trying to say, man, like it opens up with this crazy riff that doesn't sound like the blues at all, really. Like a lot of music at that time, even Led Zeppelin and even early Black Sabbath was very blues heavy, right? Now, the thing that made that first Black Sabbath album unique to me, where it got coined as one of the first metal albums, if not the first, was just the song Black Sabbath, really. Like that's the song that really set that apart because it doesn't sound bluesy. You know what I mean? As soon as you have bluesy, it doesn't sound like what we now think of as metal. You know what I mean? And to me, that Black Sabbath song sounds menacing. It sounds evil, right? It has that metal, dark sound. And this has the same thing a year before, or whatever it came out. And I think, man, like they just absolutely killed this. I mean, not only is the riff crazy, and then it has like it's catchy too. Bum, 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 bum. And then the guitar bends. It's like really unsettling to listen to, but that's on purpose, obviously, because of the subject matter. So it sounds sick, you know what I mean, at the same time. But then like the vocalist is literally with distorted vocals screaming at you. The craziest lyrics. Like, could you imagine sitting in the crowd waiting for Rolling Stones to come on and play, like, I don't know. You know a lot more about the Rolling Stones than me. In 1969, what was like a really popular Rolling Stones song?
I mean, maybe like, let me see. When did
I gotta know. I gotta really put myself in the mind of somebody in the crowd.
Let It Bleed was 1969. So I mean,
okay.
A lot of stuff, like You Can't Always Get What You Want,
Okay.
Gambler,
Okay.
Give Me Shelter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Give
like,
me shelter. Okay. Yeah.
But
yeah.
like you're waiting for that, and you hear "Innocence Raped by Napalm Fire." And you're just like, what happened to the Summer of Love, man? Like what?
Like the times are changing with this song. I mean, it was like this is the hippie stuff is over, man. It's over, and there's a new type of music that's coming in. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be odd time signatures and a jazzed influence, and create like a new style of music, which is like now we're calling heavy metal or whatever. And it's gonna be aggressive sounding. It's gonna be screaming your head off with distorted vocals about cat's foot, iron claw, neurosurgeons scream for more at paranoia's poison door, 21st century schizoid man. That second verse, blood rack, barbed wire, politician's funeral pyre, innocence graped with napalm fire, right? And then, dude, the last verse, death seed, blind man's greed, poets starving, children bleed. Nothing he's got, he really needs. 21st century. If this song isn't more appropriate now than even it was in 1969, I don't know. This song is like prophetic, basically, because there is no time in history that I could think of. I'm only 44, so but because of what's happened with the internet and social media and conspiracy theory popularity because of social media, dude, people are like legitimately schizoed. You know what I mean? Like, and then you have, I don't want to get our video blocked or demonetized, or we don't even make money, so who cares? But you got people that are literally going nuts, doing shootings and everything else. They're like, hearing voices. Things are like, people are losing their minds now. And these guys, I think they were chronicling like the early stages of this. And this is in 1969. And now it's 2026 now, right? It's just progressively gotten worse, but it's basically the same subject. It's the same thing they're talking about right now. Now, I understand this came from the Vietnam War, right? But if you think about it, Vietnam War is just one war. I mean, there's wars going on all over the world right now. And there's not only wars that the U.S. is involved with, but wars that the U.S. is funding. And you have this total gap of the wealthiest people from the poorest people, and it's only gotten worse and worse and worse. And you have the erosion of the middle class and blah, 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 blah. And I think this song is a 10 out of 10 progressive rock song. and it's so cool because not only is the riffs cool and the lyrics are amazing, but then you're in the crowd, you're getting screamed at, you got your first heavy metal riff you probably never heard before in your life, you know, live at you, and then all of a sudden, right, the song kicks into some
155. You should start at.
155, yeah.
They're right there.
Yeah, you're in the crowd expecting "Give Me Shelter" or something.
No way.
Right. The bass part is nuts on this song.
I mean, Ian McDonald went absolutely ape shit on this album.
Oh yeah.
He plays sax, he plays flute, he plays clarinet. He plays 2 types of clarinet. He plays the fucking vibraphone, which I love. He plays the mellotron.
Right.
He plays piano. He plays fucking harpsichord, dude. He does vocals. Dude, he did everything on this album. It's insane. The guy's... And he never gets talked about. Like, not taking anything away from Fripp, because Fripp's a god, but...
Right.
Dude, Ian McDonald is this album. Man,
I gotta, dude. I'm just laughing at I'm only laughing at us because I would imagine someone that has never heard progressive rock before listening to us talk about this thing and be like, "What are you guys talking about?" But that's the cool thing about what I'm imagining in the crowd at the time. You know what I mean? Like, if this is considered like one of the first progressive rock albums, they probably never heard progressive rock before. Even if there was one song or two before this or whatever, they probably never heard it in the crowd. They never heard heavy metal before. They never heard progressive rock before. They're just getting thrown out right off the bat.
Yeah, seriously.
And apparently they blew the roof off, and that like totally, you know, impressed everybody. And they were like, "Wow, this is incredible." So yeah.
You want to hear a really great fun fact that might like destroy your brain?
What's that?
Ian McDonald, who I just mentioned on this, was one of the original member and forming members of Foreigner.
Wow. Didn't know that.
Yep. Ian McDonald, Mick Jones, Lou Gramm. How insane is that? When somebody told me that or I read that, I was like, that's just not true. It's just not. Could you imagine Ian McDonald or like singing like Feels Like the First Time or like Cold as Ice or something?
Oh
like,
yeah.
What the hell is this comparison here? Like,
I know. You know what? It's kind of similar to like early Genesis and like 80s, you know, 80s Genesis, but not just 80s Genesis, like Phil Collins, right? It's kind of like similar, like the music is totally different, you know? It's way different. I mean, it's not the same, but you know what I mean? But by the way, Cold as Ice, it's kind of a banger song. So I just want to throw that
Hey, man, I'm not taking anything away from Foreigner. Foreigner's great.
That's cool.
But Foreigner is that's a fun band right there, man.
Yeah.
You tell me you're going to listen to Hot Blooded or Double Vision and not like, you know, at least Double a little bit.
Double Vision, that's one of my favorites, yeah. Double Vision is probably my favorite, yeah.
He was on the first 3 Foreigner albums, man.
Okay.
That blew me away. I was like, wow.
Well, okay. So basically, Mark, my review, because normally if someone's new to it, they just go first on this channel, and I'm going first, and I don't even know what to say, but like the guitar solo is amazing, and it's great. I don't know what to say.
I don't even really need to say too much. I'm just gonna let you do all the talking because, like, what is there really even to say about like the songs? And they're timeless. They're prog classic masterpieces. Like, this is a timeless album. It'll never be recreated. It'll never fade from history. It'll always be around. Dude, I follow this this other channel on YouTube. Shout out to the guy that I think his name's Misto. Okay. He's a young guy. He's from like the Philly area. Mm-hmm. He loves this album. He thinks this album's incredible. He's like 22 years old. I'm like, dude, that's amazing. Like even like the younger generations can appreciate this kind of stuff because, you know, you get scared that this kind of stuff's gonna fade away, but
sure. Oh, you know why? He probably knows it.
Anywhere, baby.
You know why he probably knows it? I'll play a clip real quick.
I like that algorithm there. Oh yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about this. Completely forgot about this. Don't play too much. We don't want this to get a video.
All right. There we go. Play this clip real quick, okay?
Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. The system broken, the schools closed, the prisons open.
All right. So yeah, that probably made it popular because people are like, "What's that sample?" You know, and then people checked it out.
See,
so,
this is another reason it's really hard, like, to really, really hate Kanye, because the dude, like, is he knows what he's doing and he has good taste in music, but he's just such a jerk off. It just sucks, you know.
Well, yeah, I don't. You know, the old. I wrote the first 4 Kanye albums.
Yeah, they're great, man.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
Even
and
that album's great too.
I think that's the fourth one.
My Dark
That's the
Twisted
fourth
Fantasy.
one.
Yeah,
I think that's the fourth. That's a great one too. Yeah.
Yeah,
and some of the other stuff after that's pretty good too. But I mean, yeah, and I don't want to talk about Kanye. The point is though, great song. What an opener. What an opener. Yeah. Let's move on to the next song, which is "I Talk to the Wind."
What do I see? Much confusion, disillusion all around me. I talk to the wind. My words are all carried away. I talk to the wind. The wind does not hear. The wind cannot hear. You don't possess me, don't impress me. Just upset my mind. Can't instruct me or conduct me, just use up my time. I talk to the wind. My words are all carried away. I talk to the wind. The wind does not hear. The wind cannot hear.
Great flute solo.
These are my favorite parts.
So good.
Yeah. The cymbal work is so good, man. I mean, I could play the whole song, but yeah. So my review of this one. So what I love about this album is they go from the last song immediately. You go to like a ballad, basically. And I know you're Mr. Ballad Man, so
When it comes to this kind of ballad, hell fucking yeah, I am.
So there's like, I was listening to this and I got like, there's some clarinet, flute. There's like that really nice cymbal work that's going on. The drumming is so nice and tasty and dynamic. Apparently Michael Giles described them as little pings like water droppings, water dropping. Like, yeah. So, and apparently this was influenced by Joni Mitchell a little bit, so the lyrics. So the lyrics, I love the lyrics to this song, by the way. The lyrics are great. Like the chorus, I talk to the wind, my words are all carried away. I talk to the wind does not hear. The wind cannot hear. I'm on the outside looking inside. What do I see? I'm on the outside looking inside. What do I see? Much confusion, disillusion all around me. That word disillusion must have been popular at the time because you had that Ring Ring song. disillusion. And you don't really hear that word now, but I'm hearing it twice in the same time period. All around me, I talk to the wind. My words are all carried away. Yeah. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know exactly what this song is talking about, but if you know, I don't mean to get too deep, but I think maybe this song is a bit deep. You know, there's a sense of people who are not religious, where if you think you pray, but maybe your prayers aren't answered, you feel like you're just kind of talking to the wind. Maybe that's what this song is talking about. Could be. That's one interpretation I could see of it. I was kind of thinking about it when I was listening to it. But yeah, or maybe it's not, has nothing to do with that. I don't know. But definitely I think this song is, you know, there's 5 songs on the record, right? And it's hard to compare them. They're all very different. But for me, this is a great slow song, a very enjoyable song. I really like this song, and I've listened to it multiple times. And when the wind instruments kick in and that guitar comes in, it's like kind of jazzy. It's kind of really nice, and love this song. What do you think about this song?
Yeah, it's just absolutely mesmerizing song. I absolutely love this song. Yeah, this is really where Ian McDonald kind of like goes to work here, because like of all the instruments on the song, he's playing like, you know, 85% of them. Like
Right.
there's flute, clarinet, there's, you know, piano, there's like all different stuff going on, and just like has such a great atmosphere too. And it's like, what a contrast to 21st Century Schizoid, man. You go
Right.
from just absolute utter chaos to this just like haunting, beautiful song. And always give a shout out to Peter Sinfield, who wrote all of the lyrics for King Crimson for I think like the first like 5 albums. He wrote some really great lyrics, man. Just like you know, grounded, but also like very like outside too. Like you went through the lyrics here, like, you know, they have like depth to them, but they're also like, you know, kind of like, what the hell is he talking about? But like at the same time, like really cool. Yeah, I love this song. This is one of my favorites, and that's, you know, very off brand for me because I am Mr. Ballad. So
Right.
I, you know, obviously I'm not Mr. Ballad, but this song is awesome. And,
Right.
no bad song in this album. Only 5 songs, and they're all absolute bangers. So
All right. I forgot to mention about the last song is that Steve Howe admitted that the riff for Heart of the Sunrise was heavily influenced by 21st Century Schizoid Man. Yeah, that's what he said. So there you
I
go.
hear it.
And Tony Banks actually bought the Mellotron from Robert Fripp, the one they used on this record, apparently.
I also just kind of had a shower thought too.
Yeah. Okay.
So like, there's a lot of flute on this album, and like Jethro Tull is another progressive rock band that uses a flute. I wonder if they were inspired by this album to kind of venture into progressive rock, because they started as like a folk band, and then they ventured into like progressive rock with like Aqualung and Thick as a Brick. So I wonder if they got the idea from King Crimson. Just a shower thought.
Don't know. Could be. All right. The next one is Epitaph. I'm going to play in the middle, maybe. All right, so that was a clip from Epitaph. So, Mark, what's funny is the first time I listened to this album back in March, maybe, I think this was like my favorite song on the record, my first listen. I don't know, I don't think it's my favorite now, but it's one of them. There's only 5, so. I mean, this song is, the Mellotron on this song is just, I mean, it's incredible. Like, the Mellotron on this song really is the star of the show. That and the lyrics and the vocal performance, too. And the cool thing about this album is, you know, it starts off with that 21st Century Schizoid Man, which sounds absolutely nothing like these two songs. And there's nothing more prog than that. Like, you put on an album and it's like, who the hell knows what you're going to get, you know, song to song, even inside the same song, you know, that's classic prog. And, you know, and another great thing about prog is like a lot of people, they think prog is all about the instrumentation, but a lot of prog music has great lyrics too. It's not all like, you know, witches and Tolkien and stuff like that. That's like a lot of, right.
I think Greg Lake has a great voice too.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
Not taking anything away from like Adrian Blue or John Wetton or anything, but I've always gravitated towards Greg Lake's voice, even in ELP. Like I don't know, he's just got a great like voice for progressive rock. I don't know what it is, but
he definitely does, and he's the emotion really comes through on this one. And you know, I don't want to get too depressing because this song is very depressing actually. If you really think about what this song is talking about, it's very depressing. So, so try not to think about it too much unless you want to be depressed. And in that case, think about it. But it doesn't matter if it's depressing or not. Is it good? Is the question. And the answer is yes. It's great because a lot of great depressing music is great. And you know, I mean, the way it starts, the wall on which the prophets wrote is cracking at the seams. Upon the instruments of death, the sunlight brightly gleams. Man, that visual of like, imagine you have weapons, nuclear weapons, or whatever, right? The wall is cracking, like the history, like, you know, you might have had prophets in the Bible, you might have had these historical figures, and they've written on this wall, and all this history is now cracking because you have these modern technology, instruments of death, and the sun is shining on them. And when every man is torn apart with nightmares and with dreams, will no one lay the laurel wreath when silence drowns the screams? Meaning it's all gone, everything. And the chorus, because the epitaph, unless I'm wrong, but it's when you have something written on your tombstone, right? And he says, confusion will be my epitaph. So imagine, like you go to somebody's tombstone, and it just says the word confusion. That's all. Confused. But it is kind of crazy because he says, as I crawl a cracked and broken path, if we make it, we can all sit back and laugh. So he's saying, if we get through this, we can all have a laugh, but I fear tomorrow we'll be crying. And, you know, I think at the time, the Vietnam War was going on, right? And there was that time period. But there's also previous to that, 20 so years, a couple decades before that, you had the first atomic bomb used and stuff like that, right? And now, not only do we have technology instruments of death, modern day technology of drone warfare and stronger nuclear weapons than we ever had, but we also have new types of warfare in like artificial intelligence. And also, you can really think about this. It's again, another very prophetic song, like the first song, because, you know, there's a lot of doomerism when it comes to technology. And it doesn't just have to be weapons, right? It could be AI, it could be a lot of things. And I think a lot of people have that fear. What happens if our whole way of life changes, right? What's it going to be like? And are we going to lose our way, you know? We're going to lose our humanity through all this technology. So I think this song was relevant then, and it's like the first song. It's potentially even more relevant now. It's a beautiful song, perfect song. Another 10 out of 10. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's like really impossible to pick a favorite song on this album for me
Yeah.
because they're just all just so good. Another contender right here, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really got it all. It's got, you know, Greg Lake just belting it out. It's got the Mellotron. It's got just great instrumentation all around. Like great Sinfield lyrics, like you said. Like just
Hmm.
like still relevant today. Like hasn't really changed at all. Yeah, man. I mean, the last three tracks, the Mellotron is just in high gear and just
Hmm.
it would really set the standard for progressive rock for the next complete decade, really, with Mellotron. I mean, this is probably, I'd imagine, one of the first albums that it was really even used on, right? I mean, I don't even know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not even sure when it was even invented.
I think
but-
the Beatles used it.
okay,
Yeah.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I think as it stands right now, this might be my favorite song on the album. It just does everything for me in the right ways. Like 24th Century Schizoid Man is like crazy and chaotic and stuff, but like it's not an everyday song, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
Epitaph I could put on any day and I would be just perfectly fine with it. Same thing with another track we're gonna get to too, but yeah, I mean it's just perfect in every way. 10 out of 10, 100%.
All right. Just to clarify, Mark, Strawberry Fields Forever had a Mellotron.
Okay.
Flying, the continuing story of Bungalow Bill, and
Oh.
Tomorrow Never Knows.
So like towards the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the reasons I know that actually is being a big I Am the Walrus as well. Being a big Smashing Pumpkins fan. Shout
Yeah.
out to the shirt I got here, the hoodie. Billy Corgan used it on Melancholy Infinite Sadness, and he credited the Beatles for a big influence on that. So
That makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Okay, the next song is Moonchilds. I'll play. This is a weird one to find a clip to play.
Yeah.
I'll just play the beginning of it first, and I'll play maybe a little clip from the middle to give you an idea, in case you haven't heard this before.
Lonely moon child, dreaming in the shadows of a willow, talking to the trees of the cobweb strange, sleeping on the steps of a fountain, waving silver wands to the night bird song, waiting for the sun on the mountain.
Okay, Mark, and I'm gonna play. I'm just gonna randomly pick something from the middle of the song. I guess I don't know. The reason I'm doing this, if you haven't heard this before, like 8 minutes of this song, 7 minutes of this song is just completely freeform improv. That's what it sounds like. Without even a structure. It's not like a jazz improv or. It's
Speaking of
literally, yeah.
Speaking of the Beatles, it's kind
Yeah.
of like it's the Revolution 9 to King Crimson.
Okay,
Are
gotcha.
you familiar with that song or no?
I think I've heard it once, Mark, but I couldn't tell you. You know. I'd
Yeah,
have
it's
to
on the
go
White
listen to
Album.
it.
It's like
Oh, okay.
it's just like a bunch of like sound effects and stuff. It's just
Okay. Yeah, so it's like some dudes push the record button and they're just playing. Playing stuff. That's what it sounds like. But let's just hear a sample of that. but it's not that much different than what I'm playing right now. It's a lot of this pretty much. All right, Mark. So my take on, I can imagine, I'm really curious as to your review of the song. My review as a newbie, a very interesting song. When I was listening to the album in full, I'll put it this way. It's not a song I would go out of my way to put on its own.
Yeah, that's fair.
But when I'm listening to the album in its entirety, I don't know why, but I appreciate it because it has the whole song has this like dreamlike feel to it. And it's almost like you're in this kind of dream state where anything could happen. And it's just like stuff is going on. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. And in some ways it's relaxing in a weird way. Like when I listen to it, I'm just like, it's kind of in a weird way relaxing. It's kind of randomness going on, but in a nice, relaxing way. So I also appreciate the experimentation of it and the balls to do it. So like, you know what I mean? It's like, we're just going to record ourselves just kind of messing around. That's what it sounds like. I don't know. Like, cause there's totally no structure to it really. It doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there is and I just don't know, but yeah, I do think, like, cause I've heard the other improv stuff on the other, like the 80s records, and it doesn't sound like this. This is different. You know, this is a different sound. And I don't mind it. You know, it's probably my least favorite song on the record. It's like an individual song. I would say for sure. The beginning is great. The beginning is beautiful. You know, I don't know what the lyrics are particularly talking about in this one compared to the other ones. I don't know if it's supposed to be metaphorical or what, but somebody in the comments can tell me. Maybe you can tell me, Mark. But but I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about this song except I don't skip it when I listen to the album. But I probably wouldn't go out of my way to go, oh my god, I gotta hear Moonchild. You know what I mean? Like I would some of the other songs. So yeah, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair to say. So once we get to like some of the later King Crimson out, like not much later, but like Lizard and Islands, and especially on Red, there's a song called Providence, which is kind of like the same thing as this. It's just kind of like free form, like improvisation. Then you listen to Lark songs in Aspic or no?
I've listened to it once back in March. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, there's a song called The Talking Drum, kind of the same thing. They do like some kind of variation on like most of their albums. Yeah, I mean, like it's not like I'm not gonna make a King Crimson playlist and put Moonchild on there. Basically, is what I'm saying. You know.
Okay. Right.
Do I like it? Yeah, of course, it's great. I mean, the beginning is amazing. I love the beginning. Like, you know, I appreciate the improvisation and the freeform. Like you said, I think it was a great risk for them, and it was ballsy at a time when that was not a popular thing at all.
Right.
And you know, like they probably figured people would skip over it eventually, like listening to it, but I respect them for doing it, and I think it was really cool. Is it my least favorite song on the album? Yeah, it is, but that doesn't make it a bad song, though. So, I mean, whenever I listen to this album, I listen to it all the way through, no skips. So,
yep.
Yeah.
And I just love the fact that you know, the manager remortgaged his house, and they just had the balls to put this on it.
I know, right?
That's like crazy.
It is.
That's just crazy, man. I don't know. It just like that doesn't exist anymore. Maybe it does, but I mean to remortgage your house, to spend the equivalent of 150 grand now, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna make a song, and 8 minutes of it is just gonna be us playing whatever we feel like. It's like, okay, sure, go ahead. Anyway, yeah. All right. So yeah, that's Moonchild. The last song on the record is In the Court of the Crimson King. Not in the court, the court
Just
of the Crimson
the court
King.
of the
The
Crimson
courts.
King.
I'll play a couple clips from this one.
The rusted chains of prison moons are shattered by the sun. I walk a road, horizons change, the tournament's begun. The purple piper plays his tune, the choir softly sing. Three lullabies in an ancient tongue for the court of the crimson.
So I'm gonna skip a little bit.
Soft grey mornings, widows cry, the wise men share a joke. I run to grasp divining signs to satisfy the hoax. The yellow jester does not play, but gently pulls the strings. He smiles as the puppets dance in the court of the crimson.
Dude, I can't get over it. I can't imagine you're standing in that crowd waiting for the Rolling Stones. This is what you're listening to. I don't know why, but I just can't. I can't believe it. Like, if they played this song and 21st Century Schizoid Man, I doubt they played Moonchild, but I bet you that was probably just performed in the studio. But
So Moonchild,
yeah,
I actually just read this the other day. It was never played live until 2017.
wow,
Yeah,
gotcha.
with the King Crimson Mark 8 lineup. So
Oh wow, okay, okay.
48 years after it debuted.
Okay.
I mean, I understand
yeah.
why, but yeah.
Right. Hyde Park King Crimson set list. Hold on one second. Let me see what they
There you
played.
go. There you go.
They opened with 21st Century Schizoid Band. And the next song was Court of the Crimson King. Dude, that's insane, man. That's insane that they opened with those two songs and like opened for the Rolling Stones. Nobody had probably heard anything like this before. They probably blew everyone's minds, according to what I'm reading online. They also played Epitaph. The third song they played was Get Thy Bearings, which is a cover of a Donovan. Have you ever heard that song?
No, I know who Donovan is, but
Get Thy Bearings? No, I'm just curious. Get Thy Bearings. Donovan. Just hear a clip of it.
Get all the world knows what I'm saying. The world will find out.
I can hear it. I can hear it in the set list. Because it was before Epitaph. And then the song called Mantra. You know what that is?
Mantra?
King Crimson. Yeah, King Crimson Mantra. So that's its original. Another one called Travel Wary Capricorn. Don't know these songs.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the last song is Mars, the Bringer of War, which is a cover of Gustav Holst. That was the song they ended. Now I have to hear their ending song.
Those other songs you mentioned must be like B-sides or something, or unreleased, or I don't know.
No way.
Is it just live?
That's what they said. That's the ending song. Could you imagine a King Crimson doing this live? Like,
The hell did they get? Where would they get a freaking horn section from?
they probably just, use their instruments or whatever they had, but this probably was like, what? This probably, people are probably on drugs anyway in the crowd.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine what it, this would have been
No.
insane to see, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, they walk off the stage and they're like, okay, now you got to hear Give Me Shelter.
Yeah, enjoy the Rolling Stones, everybody.
That's the biggest middle finger to music, pretty much. It's just like, no, open with 21st Century Schizoid Man and they close with this. Incredible. Anyway, Mark, well, overall, my review of this album is, would listen again, will listen again. All right.
All right. So
Yeah.
how does it stack against the '80s albums? Can you compare them?
It's so hard to compare them. It's like a totally different band.
It
Doesn't even
is. It
sound the
is.
same at all.
It is a totally different band, actually.
Man.
Minus one member. The reason the '80s King Crimson albums are so different is because it wasn't supposed to be King Crimson. It was supposed to be a different entity, But they couldn't decide on a name, so they just went with King Crimson again. So it was like it was supposed to be a completely different incarnation. So I think that's a good reason why.
You know what's crazy about it is when this came out, it sounded like there was nothing that sounded like this. This was totally original, I mean, obviously you're influenced by things, but overall, original album. And that 80s King Crimson stuff, to this day, there's nothing that sounds like that music. Like, to me, I haven't heard a single band that sounds like Discipline and Beat and Three of a Perfect Pair. That's just totally...
The only comparable band, I think, is Talking Heads, and even then, it's not even really that close.
Nah, man. No.
Yeah, it's really not.
I mean, I can see what you mean. It's a little bit crossover, but other than that, I mean... So they have this knack for, like, at least in the late 60s, early 70s, and in the 80s. I haven't heard the 90s stuff, but they have a knack for, like, inventing a new sound, basically. And how often does that happen? Are bands doing that? Not once, but twice. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say except, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
I got news for you. The '90s and 2000s albums have their own sound too. So
okay.
Right. So 3 times, more than that, really. I mean,
right.
This album and then In the Wake of Poseidon are like somewhat similar, and then you have Lizard, which is completely different, and then you have Islands, which is also completely different, and then you have Lark's Tongues and Aspic, which is completely different. But then you have that 3-album run with the Golden Trio. So.
Oh, I see. What about where does Red fall in there?
I mean, Red. That's my favorite King Crimson album.
Okay. All right.
I think the trio lineup, which is Fripp, Bruford, and John Wetton, or the '80s quad lineup are the 2 best, personally. I mean, this album's lineup is pretty awesome too, man. I mean,
yeah.
I think Michael Giles is a pretty fucking underrated drummer, to be honest. Kind of just got lost to time, I think, and is really evident on this album. But like, he's a great drummer. I know Neil Peart always brought him up as like one of his favorites. So
okay,
so that's cool.
I mean, his drumming is amazing on this album. Man, what I love about these old records like this, and I mean, I listen to a lot of new music, of course. Like two bands behind me, they're still making new music, right? And there's all this stuff we listen to that's new. But there's something about these old records where the drums are very dynamic. Like they're not super compressed, where they all kind of have the same impact, like a lot of modern music, and they have this kind of breathing to them, and I don't know. I know some new music does that. I'm just saying. I really a lot of these older records that we've been listening to lately. I've noticed that like the drums and all the instruments really, but the drums are kind of allowed to breathe and be very dynamic, and it just makes for a really great, enjoyable experience, especially when you're just sitting down to listen to the music. Like this record, I sat down, I listened to it on my speakers, listened to it on my headphones, and I'm telling you what, man, listening to it I listened to it in speakers in the dark. The whole record, front to back. And I heard Moonchild in the dark on the record. I'm telling you, man, that was nice. You know what I mean? I didn't mind 8 minutes of messing around.
Yeah.
I thought it was nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
What, do you just chill in the basement, just listen?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just like, well, I'm gonna vibe out, and then I could turn the light on to read the or sometimes I use my phone like flashlight, or whatever, look at the lyrics and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't always do that, but once in a while, if I want to give like a real serious like vibe listening when I'm by myself and I have time to chill, that's like the best way because you just remove a lot of the senses and stuff.
So, question I have for you:
Mm-hmm.
how does this compare to like Selling England by the Pound for you? Which one do you think you would listen to more often?
This one.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about Foxtrot?
That's hard to say.
Okay. So you definitely like Foxtrot more than Selling England by the Pound. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
More.
I'm really, really, really gonna be curious when we get to the Lamb how you feel about that.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, I really think you're gonna like A Trick of the Tail and Wind and Wuthering like a lot. I just really, because I know you love Phil Collins' vocals and like they're just so good on those, and a lot of the tracks are like style of tracks you like. So
Okay.
it's gonna be fun when we get there.
Awesome.
Same thing with Yes, man. Same thing when we get to the Yes albums. Yeah. How about Close to the Edge? This or Close to the Edge?
Close to the Edge.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Close to the Edge is it's the linchpin, the benchmark for progressive rock. I mean, this is in a way too, but like there's a freaking cruise named after Close to the Edge. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
So I understand. Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of like, and I don't know, I'm not the biggest metal historian. I know a little bit here, but it reminds me a little bit of like, it's more revolution. I don't know, maybe not. It reminds me a little bit of before Metallica. You had like, you had your Judas Priest, you had your Black Sabbaths, then you had your like new wave of British heavy metal stuff, right? There's a bunch of acts in there, right? But which I'm guessing Judas Priest fall into that category?
Of what?
New wave of British heavy metal? That.
No, that would be like Iron Maiden.
Okay.
Judas Priest they've been around since like the early 70s.
So. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So anyway, the point is like you had your Iron Maiden and stuff like that, right? But the whole idea of thrash and all the metal that spawned from that, basically, which I would say most all modern metal spawned from that thrash movement. I don't know. I'm guessing. You can tell me because
you mean like the big four? You mean like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you listen to Kill 'Em All, everything that came before Kill 'Em All and everything that came after Kill 'Em All, like it's to me that was like all the records I've heard, that was a little bit of a what the hell is this sound? You know what I mean? Like this is it's influenced by other things, but it's its own thing. You know what I mean? And then when you hear all their albums, like the first Megadeth album, and then you Ride the Lightning and Master Puppets and all these records,
Haunting the Chapel.
Yeah, and then of course you had other, Rain and Blood, and you had other thrash stuff come after that. But I'm saying that whole idea of like Kill 'Em All, it's like, oh, metal. What we know about metal is now changed, right? This reminds me of, and I'm just only using that as a comparison because Metallica is a very famous band. It's just easy if people aren't into prog, you know what I mean? But to me, this record reminds me of that. Is Kill 'Em All my favorite Metallica record? No. is it without Kill 'Em All? Is there any Metallica as we know it, or maybe even modern metal as we know it, because it was heavily influential by that? Maybe not, right? And so maybe it would make sound different. I don't know. So my point is, this reminds me a bit of that, where it's so foundational and fundamental that you have to respect it. You don't have to like it, of course. You don't have to like anything. But I feel like if you like prog music, you probably will like this if you really give it a full listen, really try.
I don't think I've met any person that likes progressive music that's listened
Mm-hmm.
to that album and hasn't liked it. So I mean, you got to be like really into one type of progressive music to not like this, I think. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I don't know how you could like progressive music or, jazz fusion or any type of like progressive like variant there is and not like this album. That's just how classic and timeless and good it is. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well, thanks for doing this episode with me, Mark. If you're still watching, appreciate you. Thank you. Give us a like if you like the episode. That would be really cool. And let us know what you think in the comments. What's your favorite song? What do you think about this album? What's your favorite King Crimson album? Have you never heard this before? Go listen to it and let us know what you think. But even better would be great. We have a free music club, and it's on the Discord platform. There's going to be a link in the pinned comment. And if you want to come in there and chat about music for free, there's no money involved whatsoever. But Mark and I are in there, and a bunch of other people in our community, and we just talk about music and share music with each other and post our episodes. And our episodes is just one tiny part of the Discord. Most of the time, has nothing to do with our episodes. So we go in there and we share our stuff and vice versa. And there's all kinds of decades and genres and bands and all kinds of cool stuff. So if you like that idea, if you want to join a club like that for free, come on in the Discord. We'd love to see you, especially if you're a fan of this album, because we're looking for the music geeks, you know what I mean? Like us. So that's what we're looking for. So yeah, and only about 5% of our viewers are subscribed, so it really help out the channel for a subscription. Plus, I bet you there's other stuff for the channel if you go back and look, you might like, or there's new stuff coming that you might like. So either way, thank you, Mark, again, and until next time.
Peace, proggers.
See you later.